over.
Yeah. Hey, we're live. Snap your fingers in front of that guy. Yep. Okay. But
No J in the
there's
thing.
no J.
Should I text Rick and tell him we're on?
Oh.
Here we go.
Al, start sharing that shit.
I am. As soon as he puts it on, I'll put it on. I do it. I ain't messing around.
I'm going to tell Rick we're
Hanson
on.
brothers.
Okay.
All those on YouTube. Look at my fingers.
Don't smell them though.
How's that look?
Look at your arm.
After we're done with the show, and
Well, Al, you might have to lean in a little bit.
after we're done with the show, we're not broadcasting or anything anymore.
Yeah, that's okay there. All right. Well, I mean, we are broadcasting.
That's what I'm saying. After we're done and there's no access by the public to us, remind me to tell you.
Is it a Patreon story?
Tell you? No, it's not. It's just remind me to tell you guys about something that I may have or may not have accidentally on purpose, maybe kind of potentially gotten us involved in.
Can you turn that off? I want to know this now.
Our lawyer is required.
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hold on. Let me start doing this shit. Go ahead.
Let's try and mic test. I don't know how this is going to go. Jay, just talk for a minute. I want to see what these levels are like on voice meter.
Hey, let me just talk for a minute. Let me get these voice meter thingies on level with all the stuff and how you doing. This is just my regular talking voice. I'm not using anything cool.
I'm wondering if I should face this away from Jay.
That guy's going to be pissed off
Okay,
because
I'm
it's going to take us 10 minutes to get into the meat of the matter again.
Come on, you cum.
Excuse me. Come?
Yeah,
What?
like a semen.
Look how you're
I got
getting
this.
boxed in here.
I got this all by myself. Don't anybody help me. Everyone just...
Whoa. Up close and personal.
Oh, I see what's going on.
Yeah.
That's good. Point that fucker away from Jay.
Well, he's got the boomiest voice I've ever heard in my life.
He
It's like
does.
goddamn sausage and
He's
taters.
a fucker. I don't even like that guy.
Wow!
It's getting vicious.
It is vicious in here.
Boomy ass Jay voice.
That's just my boom.
Luckily, we're broadcasting live to 0 people, so...
Well, they can go back and view this later.
Will they then?
Wait, I gotta get a picture.
How deep do you want to go right now?
How
Okay,
deep is
now do
your
it.
Jay?
We probably don't even use the boom function of this.
Aww.
Let's see how that is for us.
Jay, say something sexy. Good man.
What's going on right now? Hi!
Hey, I was told by the redhead, you have to have a picture of you.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the redhead?
That would be my wife.
That'd be Jay's mom. Al's main squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, and you probably can just do this off the cuff.
No.
Well, I didn't tell you anything. Just be prepared to speak a little bit about Robert Burns.
Robert Palmer, he meant to say.
Right.
Oh, he's
Talk about
addicted.
his addiction problem.
That guy's got
Yeah,
an addiction.
he does.
Addicted to spuds.
That's Weird Al's addiction.
All right, there's your show notes.
We
There's
got
your,
show pony.
there's your Walt Dizzles.
Oh, you shitlord.
I kind of planned on doing that anyways a little bit, Joe. Jay.
All right. You get a peek at the notes there, see what I'm stepping in.
All right, let's see what the Samson sounds like. Just go ahead and talk into it.
Check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello.
Jay, same with you, buddy.
This is a microphone test. 1,
I'm
2,
not
1,
quite
2.
testing yet. I just wanted to check the levels before I send it over to Audacity. All right.
I love that shirt.
I know, it's awesome.
I want that shirt.
I do too.
Again, there's 3 of us, and only one of him.
That's
I mean,
true.
well, I need one in my size, so I gotta be nice to him until it's made. And then I'll beat him up.
It was that fucking nightmare, though. Yeah, there was how many different colors? There was the green, black, orange.
It doesn't matter.
white.
It's all worth it at the end.
Yeah, I'm just saying it took probably 4 hours to make it.
It's fine.
All right, we're gonna do a real life mic check.
This is a microphone test. 1 2 1 2.
Microphone check. 1 2 3 4.
I'm not really sure which direction to speak, but 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're talking to this microphone.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, they look the same here. Hopefully that means good news. First time using 3 mics.
We're going to do a real life mic check. This is a microphone test. 1 2 1 2.
Microphone check. 1 2 3 4.
I'm not really
Nice
sure
pause.
which direction to speak, but 1,
Dramatic.
2, 3, 4.
Dramatic.
It was from my.
Okay, 1,
Oh, that's
2,
right. I
3,
didn't have any
4.
Germanic training. I'm sorry.
One,
Maybe it was
two,
Germanic.
three.
Oh, I took 2 years of German classes.
There you go.
That was Germanic training.
There you
yes.
go. Germanic training. There's dramatic Germanics. Or are they Germanic dramatics?
No, man.
That would be something else completely.
Leave the loons alone already.
Look at the loons.
All right, let's try it again,
Accept
James.
us.
This is a microphone test. 1 2 1 2.
Microphone check. 2 3 4 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Microphone test 3.
Let's try it again, James.
Did you share that yet, Joe?
This is a microphone test.
Too
1 2
much.
1 2.
Microphone check. 2, 3, 4.
I can just shove it in my mouth. I mean,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Microphone test 3.
That was way worse than the first time, and I didn't change much.
You fucked it up, Mike.
It didn't go.
okay, it's a bit too close. I'm running into it with my
Yeah.
hat.
All right, let's see if third time's a charm, boys.
This is a microphone test. 1 2 1 2.
Ich bin, du bist, sie ist.
Ja, es ist ich nein mein Mofa.
Sieg Heil, mein Kampf.
Führer.
Great.
Mein Führer.
You guys just got us the rating already.
This is
I
a
was-
microphone test. 1 2
Is the
1
gain
2.
up on that?
Ich bin, du bist, sie ist.
The gain?
Ja, es ist ich
And what's going on with this Samson? It's a fucking
Are you
trash
sure it's
pile.
backwards?
Well, there was
The
a.
green light has to be towards me, not away?
Maybe, I don't know.
No, I've always had it towards me.
Okay.
Gain's at half.
It doesn't have any other switches? Or...
You're clipping, and you shouldn't be.
Just turn the gain down to a quarter.
Okay, try it again.
I want to figure out that Samson, because it can't be that bad of a microphone, honestly. Maybe try further away. Maybe you're just too close to the pattern.
Is that what's distorting?
No.
You're just
No.
not picking him up. He's like
Oh.
a fucking mouse in the corner. I mean, you had it before, Jay, and you projected, and I still had to have you cranked up.
Because Jay's got a really projecting voice, in case you didn't know.
Jay, microphone check, please.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Jay, and this is a microphone test.
1 2 3 4.
Microphone test.
Try different distances, just
Hello, we're going further back now.
Way
We'll go over
back.
here to the right side. Hi, right side. This is stereo. This is now the left.
I'll get right up on it, like your mouth touching.
I'm going to have oral sex.
Oh,
With this
snap.
microphone.
That was very directorial there, Mike. Just get up, get on it, get closer.
Because Jay's got a really projecting voice, in case you didn't know.
Jay, microphone check, please.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Jay. This is a microphone test. Well, I feel like that's not picking me up at all now.
Microphone test.
Try different distances. Just
Hello, we're going further back now.
Way
We'll go over here to the right side. Hi, right side.
Is there an empty outlet
This is
over
stereo.
there?
This is not the left.
Huh, right side
Yeah,
sounded
get
better.
right up on it, like your mouth touching.
I'm going to have oral sex. That was very direct.
I mean, when you were closest was the best. Still sucked on dong, so.
Okay, I'm going to move it to the right. It did sound a little bit stronger.
I think sucking on dong. Sucking on a
Jay, did
chili
you adjust
dog.
that at all? Because you sounded
I
far up.
turned the gain down.
No, I mean this next time after that one.
No, I haven't touched it since.
All right, well,
Maybe
it wasn't-
turn the gain
yeah,
up
maybe
another
turn the
little
gain
eighth
up
of a
and not
notch.
Pull it down on here.
Hi, everybody who's tuning in. This is called Technical Hour.
Technical difficulties. This is the Paul Gilbert hour.
This is the Paul Gilbert Hour.
So you want me to do what? Turn it back up?
Just an eighth.
A nudge.
We're now watching
A
Jay.
nudge. That's
A
perfect.
nudge.
That's a nice nudge there.
All right.
All right, here we go.
What's going on? This is my intro voice.
Check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Chili dog behind the tasty freeze.
Don't sell that man anything.
Little pink houses for you and me.
Yeah, you can still see which one's mine.
Tell which one's Jay too.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a nudge, Jay.
What?
I thought it was perfect.
What's going on? This is my intro voice.
Check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's a
Chili
volume
dog
button in
behind
the
the
front.
tasty
Does that
freeze.
matter?
Where was
I
it?
think you're pretty
It's
good
at
at
half.
Little pink houses.
I
for
think
you
all
and
of us
me.
are good except for the fact that Al sucks.
I do suck.
Can you gain Al more without redlining?
I'm literally at the tip.
You
of the Samson.
you are on the tip.
Let's try this again, Al.
How can you be that-
I'm talking get fucking in it.
How can you be that in that fucker and still have it be where it is?
The best it was when he was giving a deep throat. That was
Okay,
literally
well
the
then,
best
hey,
it
here
was.
we go. We're gonna ride it like a rhinestone cowboy.
You know, fucking bash me to hell here.
There we go.
There, yeah. There, hold on.
You
There
can
we
always
go.
just unboom it like we have this one.
You can
Just put it straight up.
just deboom it.
Okay,
Look at that. You look like wow. You need.
this is good. This is gonna be personal.
You got any pop
I
filters?
mean, that looks good.
Pop.
All right, we're gonna try again, James.
This is a
Oh,
microphone.
wait a second.
Jesus
Oh
Christ!
my
Wait for
God.
Oh,
your
you
cue.
just ruined it.
Wait for your cue.
Go.
Show's over.
Do it, James.
Hi, my name is Jay.
That's not gonna help us at all.
This is a microphone test. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Like a rhinestone cowboy. 1, 2.
I'm sick of this shit.
I'm doing fine. It's better than circumcision.
No way. We're gonna. Hey, by the way,
What?
I wanted to let you guys know. You guys are talking about science tonight. We're all talking
Science.
about science.
The microphone. Wait a second.
Jesus Christ, wait for your
Oh,
cue.
just ruined it.
Wait for your cue.
Go.
Show's
Just
over.
do it, James. That's not going to help us at all. This is a microphone test. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
That was too
1,
close.
2. I'm so
Wow.
Where did I get the reverb from?
Better than circumcision.
No way. We're gonna.
I'll just back it off a couple inches. That's what she said.
I still want to figure this fucker out.
I think that guy's fine, dude.
It doesn't sound good though.
Try a different pattern.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right, Jamie.
This is a microphone test. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Check.
I mean, we probably don't even have to check. We know this one's good.
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 This is a microphone test. 1, 2, 1, 2.
You sound
Check.
good.
1, 2, 3, 4. Check.
Where the heck is the reverb coming from?
We probably don't have to check. We know this one's good.
All right, then. Let's try to figure out that Samson, motherfucker. All right, Al. Again, I want you right up in it. This is just
Hold
gonna
on
be-
1 second.
Let's unboom it.
Yeah, you want to go the whole way around? Alrighty. Straight in the throat. I got here. Wait, I got $20 for you.
Oh,
Wait, how am I going to earn $20 right now?
$20 is $20.
Wait a minute. That's the same way it was.
That's how we want it.
Same as it ever was.
Same as it ever was. And you may ask yourself, why are we fucking with 3 microphones?
All right, so now we have him backwards.
Backwards, eh? All right, Al, this is going to be
The last one.
So
Reverend
here's
Al
the problem: the
starting
mic's
mic-
backwards. You have to say everything in reverse that you're going to try to say to them.
Okay. Yep. Microphone check. As long as there isn't a reverb in it.
Still looks like shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, flip it around.
Cleaner.
man. Flip it around.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounded cleaner.
yeah, I thought it was
That didn't sound good.
Well, I changed the setting of voice meter, so hopefully that is what.
Alrighty.
And same as that one. Let's just try different. Like announce how your distance, so you have a frame of reference, so we can check different. Distances.
All right, we're at my nose. Check. 6 inches away. Check. 8 inches away. Test. Foot away.
Right away was right up close. Is it?
As long as it, yeah.
We're at my nose. Check. 6 inches away. Check. 8 inches away.
Do
Test.
6.
Uh,
6
foot
inches.
away.
Just like you're back in the old high school football team. Time for 6 inches.
I hate it.
Me too.
I have one more thing that I think we could try here, and that's bring everybody down and raise the gain. And
Y'all suck. Oh, you didn't mean bring everybody down like that.
no,
I'm sorry.
Alan. All right, now we're gonna do a full mic check here, James.
I don't. So you're going to boost the entire signal then? With
At the end, yeah.
Okay.
Jerry,
This is a microphone test. 1 2 1 2.
backwards completion theory. 1 2.
Drink milk carefully.
Babies love teats.
I like teats.
Baby.
I am.
So you're going to boost the entire signal then? With
At the end, yeah.
Okay.
This is a microphone test. 1 2 1 2.
No, it seems
Backwards
distorted.
completion theory. 1 2.
Wow.
Drink milk carefully.
Who did you get that from?
Love teats.
I bought it off of Greg Steger.
Does he hate us? Is that what
He
happened?
does. Is anybody online commenting yet about how much this sucks?
No, my chat's not working again. I don't know.
Are you kidding me? No chat, no Samson? I'm out of here.
I want to talk to Samson.
I want to talk to Samson and the jawbone of an ass. That was a biblical reference for those. What do you?
What is this Bible you speak of?
Yeah. What are you? Are you gonna give me money? Oh, you're
No.
gonna give Jay money.
I love his beard.
What's that for?
It's actually for your wife.
Oh. Do I have to give it to her?
Yes. Because it has to go to Maria.
That sucks. Now it's documented. He's gonna have to give it to her.
Well, yeah,
Hey,
it's
there
actually
it is.
well, actually, he's giving it to his wife to give
Ooh, what do people say?
to her sister.
On a dark desert highway. It's all Rick Words. Check 1 2. And then his forehead.
Are you really starting with this early? He's gonna bring out the
I don't-
Eagles.
I don't
this
think
early.
that works very well
No, I'm not pushing back.
So why don't you like the Eagles?
because they suck.
That's the main reason.
I mean, collectively, or
Yes.
one of them.
Just everything that they do is wrong.
Well, if
Except-
you want to know the
ex-
truth,
Except for that one song.
I think they suck collectively, and I think they
Individual.
suck individually.
Wow,
here.
you heard that here first.
I wish we were recording for that.
Or it's forever on YouTube.
Jay, do me a favor on this one and hold it. Oh, hold my.
Okay.
Hold that. Or, because I want to see if we raise it, if it's better. So just raise it up a little bit. I have shit that we can put on the table to raise it. I just want to see if it's, up there would be good. Okay, go ahead.
This is a microphone test. 1 2 1 2.
I have a random question. Is it better to have high expectations or low expectations about the Eagles?
Low.
No, expectations is ideal.
Thanks, buddy. Boss is boss.
This is a microphone test. 1
Boss
2
is
1
boss.
2.
I like the better high. That still sounds like trash pile.
That sounds worse than it did before.
Now, what if I open this thing up?
Angle that down towards him a little bit. 'Cause right now it's facing his eyes.
There's no way to get it lower.
Yeah.
unless you take it out.
Angle it with that.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually we're already against the.
There.
Where are
I'll
you?
rock it.
Okay.
So maybe it'll be better.
Oh, there you go.
What's
Yeah,
comment?
just
What's
flip
Rick
the whole
saying?
thing
You
around.
better not be talking about the Eagles.
So very, very wrong. Al is really loud. Mike needs to be louder.
That's just this.
That
mic.
yeah, that's just the YouTube mic. That's nothing to do with anything else.
Yeah, that doesn't speak to our sound quality.
But thank you, Rick, for wanting
Thanks,
to hear
buddy.
more of my sweet, sultry, sick person voice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Aw, snap. Aw, snap. Okay, here we go, James. We're going to do another
Oh,
microphone.
snap.
This is a microphone check. 1 2 1 2.
Boss water is boss water.
Come to my macaroni party and we can take a nap.
Come to my nap party and we'll eat some macaroni.
Nice.
This is a microphone check. 1 2 1 2.
Boss water is boss water.
It's terrible.
Come to my nap
It's
party.
just terrible.
You can take a nap. Come to my nap party and we'll
Now
eat
Jay's
some
great,
macaroni.
and Al and I suck.
Did you suck on that one?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
We didn't touch you.
If you want to touch me,
I mean, I don't know.
Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch
do
me.
you want to touch? Yeah.
Oh wow.
Want to touch me there? Yeah. You know where.
I want that angled towards your mouth because right now it's still angled, not at your mouth.
That's this one.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yes.
Make that happen.
Lock it in there.
This- Mike just sucks, dude.
It was a $40 mic. What do you
Yeah.
want?
Well,
Well, that's what I bought it for.
right.
All right, Jay. You can hold back a little bit. In fact, I might turn your gain down. Where's the gain on there? Top or bottom?
Top.
Top.
Top. Oh, you.
Ooh, that was a lot.
Eat.
That was huge. That was a handful of macaroni.
Did he turn me off?
Oh my god,
He
yes.
turned me right off.
He took that suck bomb.
This is a microphone test. 1 2 1 2.
Microphone test. 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
Hello, it's me.
Again.
It's me you're looking
No, that was
for.
Todd Rundgren, not this. Whatever you're speaking of.
I thought it was Lionel Richie.
You can hold back a little bit. In fact, I might.
Thanks. For those of you on our YouTube channel right now, thank you for your patience.
That was huge. That was a handful of macaroni. Oh my god.
You're in a different fucking time zone.
Yeah, right?
This is a microphone test. 1 2 1 2.
Microphone test. 1, 2, 3.
Now it's back to being.
Yeah, so
There's got to be something internally wrong with it. Like we're jiggling it and it's taking that echo away, and then we move it again, then it comes back.
That's just a sign it's a bad mic. I think it's because he's getting picked up by both patterns. I think he.
I'm going to move it back a couple inches.
This is just going to be a J and L. Again, Jason and I are fine. Go ahead.
This is a microphone check. 1 2 1 2.
Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'll keep testing.
Test. Hello, people, the universe. We are here testing tonight. Just for your pleasure. Sometimes we're even ribbed.
This is a microphone check. 1 2 1 2.
Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Al's better.
That's better. But just,
Test. Hello, people, the universe. We
It's
are
not
here
that.
testing tonight.
yeah,
What is that reverb?
I have no idea.
Unplug it and plug it back in. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe we jiggled something. Plug it back in.
There are no other switches or anything. This isn't, I mean, it's not powered or.
No.
Okay.
Anybody on the YouTube saying anything?
Jay and Jason, good. But that's just. Yes.
They're fine. Let's not go to their head. Okay.
I wouldn't let you hang. Unless it was your brain on my board.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
What?
Microphone
What?
check.
Whoa!
Hey. We doing a show today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What are we talking about? Do we get show notes?
Yeah.
Yes,
we
sir.
did.
Show ponies.
It did.
You keep talking.
Hi, my name's Jay. I like long walks on the beach.
In the rain.
Um,
Do you like pina coladas?
I really don't.
Alan J.
Hi.
I
Hi.
Just have a conversation with each other.
Just
I
talk
like
to
traffic lights, but only when they're green.
I like traffic lights only when they're red.
You suck.
I do. And blow.
you. Wow.
Alan J. Hi.
I
That's great.
That's best it's gonna be.
I like traffic lights. But only
That is so much
There we
better.
go. Yeah, that actually
It
sounds
just had a
normal.
bit of a boot problem.
A boot. Boot.
Touch nothing.
Yeah, don't touch. Just
Let's go
Touch
with
nothing.
this.
Proceed.
Yes.
Fine with that. We're just starting.
I
Yeah,
am
we're going.
4 inches
We're
from the
going.
mic and staying.
We're actually
perfect.
starting, people. We're gonna do it now.
I touched stuff. I didn't mean to, but
Ah!
I just brought Jason and I down because I feel like we're gonna.
I think
outclass
we're
the
actually
contest.
pretty. I don't know. Let's do one more around the ring.
A one more round robin.
Don't do it.
No, we haven't mic checked everybody together. Just to make sure love is.
All right, fine.
Go ahead, James.
This is a microphone test. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Microphone check. 2, 3, 4.
I don't think Joe Walsh was as bad as everybody else.
I would agree with that. He did some nice solos.
He was
stuff.
drunker than everyone
He was
else.
drunker.
Dude, I forget what it was, but it was Steve Vai, Joe Satch.
This is a microphone test. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Jay's
Microphone
real
check.
good.
2, 3, 4.
I don't think Joe Walsh was as bad as everybody else.
I would
That's
agree
pretty
with that.
normal.
He did some nice stuff.
Fine,
Dude,
Go.
That's good.
Drunker.
Run it. Print. Don't touch it.
All right, we're going live in 5, 4.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jay from the Wednesday Night Whiskey Committee here with another episode. This week, as always, before we get started, let's present the committee. To my left is the scientist mastermind of all things computer electronics microphones. He likes to, he's the handsome one, Captain Tight Pants himself, Mr. Universe, the authority on beaver buttholes,
It was going so well.
co-host and co-founder,
There's a story there we need.
Shirt.
and
That
Brad
is an awesome
Flag.
shirt.
I didn't even notice that was a rip on play. That's awesome. Because I love it even more now. I just thought it said Brack Show, to be honest. Michael J. Cavino, everybody.
Hi, everybody at home. Nice to hear you again.
They can hear us?
I can hear them.
Oh, wow.
Wait.
Psychic.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What did they do in that surgery?
No, you don't need to see that.
Steve
Oh!
Steve Austin, $6 million man.
They built him better, stronger, faster.
Drunker.
Ooh,
Harder.
They cleaned that. Whoa.
harder.
What? now?
Nice. Also with us this evening, as always, co-host and co-founder, the Red Warlock, the bearded one, the man of many modes, the modal master, and don't ask him for a military discount, John J. Feathers.
Also known as Beaver Butthole.
Welcome and good evening.
And also with me this evening, the man of many vitamins. He's got vitals. He likes them. I'm really bad at this today.
It's good.
Yeah,
man.
it's
Keep
okay.
going.
Just
Go.
keep
Just
going.
roll.
It's
It's
Just
almost
roll.
like we spent an entire hour
Or
setting
to
up
the
three
microphones.
mics.
The Reverend Al Scarton.
Microphone check. Once. Oh. Hello and good evening. Thank you for tuning in tonight.
And boy, what a humdinger of a show we got for you.
Thank you for listening to our microphone.
Yeah, if you want to check in on some,
Wait. Who are you?
Who are you?
I am Empanato Jones. If you want to check in on some amazing mic testing details, check after this live feed is over on YouTube. Go back and rewatch that for the first 40 minutes.
I'm just going to make a suggestion. You better get some whiskey in you.
I know this is bad.
I second that nomination.
He's much better after whiskey. We promise.
Let's move on to the number 2 here. Let's present ours.
I think we've already given them a whole load of number 2.
Oh, the jokes just keep on coming. This week, once again, I am presenting the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield Chambered 9mm. This is the Performance Center model. As you can see, it is clear.
That is clear.
And as always, most of the time, I have the Springfield XDS chambered in 45 HCP. And
Clean, clear, beautiful. And as most of the time, as I believe I said, and most of the time, I am presenting the Browning High Power Mark III Classic. If you don't think it's the greatest fucking handgun in the world, I'll fight you.
I loved shooting that gun. I want to shoot it again.
Fucking all right, let's shoot it right now.
All right. I am presenting the Dan Wesson 44, and as you can spin,
Oh!
Whoa!
we're clear, boys.
That's some of the best spin ever in the industry.
It is the best. I think you should get hired as a professional revolver cylinder spinner.
Where do I apply? Is the question.
Smith
I
and
think
Wesson.
voice artists. I mean, they have hand artists. Yeah.
Right.
I'm down. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm
They
gonna
have
do
hand
it.
jobs.
Tell you
Yeah.
what.
Only
That's
if you're artesian.
It's a
yeah.
special spin.
You get paid for that?
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
I think they're called fluffers. I don't know.
All right.
fluff my cylinder, baby.
We're Jesus Christ.
Woo!
Just sick for whatever's happening right now.
So, like I said, for those of you who tuned in on YouTube, you realize the struggle that happened for the first 40 minutes of our broadcast here. However, for those of you listening on your favorite podcasting device, hopefully you will notice that there is an increase in quality here. We do have
That's true.
a brand new microphone in the room. This was donated by the guys at the Punisher Body Count podcast. That's Dane Lamont and, oh God, I forget his name. Where's the box? It's on the box. I should have remembered this, but I lost track of Jacob. Williams. Thanks.
Thanks.
Whiskey. I'm sorry. Aaron Nolman.
Balloons.
So, guys, thanks for
It's really loud.
for donating this microphone to us.
Just keep going, Jay.
Thanks.
It's fine. We're just talking.
We're just
your
talking
back.
behind
It's
your back.
cool. No big
It's
deal.
nothing unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Thanks, dicks. And for our local listeners, don't forget that you can still get tickets to the Frontier Girls Troop 213 Beat the Winter Blues event going on this Saturday, February 2nd. And the reason I mention this is because we have a basket involved. If you are in the at the event, you can check it out. Look, we have a basket full of some delicious whiskey samples there. And a lovely little postcard with a little treasure trove inside. Go ahead and bid on that win, and you'll find yourself on our show if you'd like to be. Other than that, I've got just the normal spiel. I'm not talking Shane.
Or Dan.
Yes. I'm talking social medias. We have a Facebook page, which you probably found this feed for YouTube on right now. We have a Twitter. We have an Instagram. We have a YouTube channel, obviously. We have a Reddit page, which Texas Al, where are you, buddy?
Yeah, where are these guys?
We miss you. I haven't posted on there that we're live yet either, so I'll do
you
that
should
in a
do
minute.
that.
We have their standard email, which is WednesdayNightWhiskey@gmail.com. We also have a Patreon, which we're calling all you guys out, all the followers that we have on Facebook. For those of you who already are not Patreon members, we challenge you to become a member. Give us $1. That's it. Reoccurring $1. That's less than $5 a month. Basically what it is, if we post a show, you pay us $1. And we use those fees. Look at that, my case is breaking. We use those to pay for
Taking it apart. Oh, look, it's breaking.
Look, my phone's broken.
Son of a bitch!
Also, get on Redbubble and buy these
Awesome
awesome
cases that are breaking. Patreon money. That's www.patreon.com/WedNightWhiskey. And you can send us a donation. We greatly appreciate that. We also have a coffee website, which is ko-fi.com. Same kind of principle, except it's a one-time donation. I think
buddy.
1 cup of coffee is equivalent to about $3-4. We have a PayPal account, which if you're interested, message me, message any one of us. We will give you the information on how to do so. We also have, if you're into fine-ass threads, some fresh-ass swag. Mikey's in the middle of making some of his own swag, and he's not sharing it with anybody.
I know.
Yeah, it is.
But once upon a time, he did over at this little place called Redbubble.com. And basically what it is we have T-shirts, we have drawstring bags, cell phone cases, wall clocks, fucking tapestries for your wall.
For your castle.
You want it, we got it.
We got Brack flag T-shirts.
Wait, do we?
Oh. So we want a bunch of cool stuff, and that also helps out with the costs and helps us out with costs and helps you out looking not so lame, losers.
I know.
We love you.
A lot of people do look lame if they're not in our swag.
That's true. Probably not. We love them though. Thank you for buying our swag. Really, we appreciate
We love
you.
them more if they're in our swag.
All right, I'm done. That's enough for me. We don't have a whiskeys per se to feature this evening, and this kind of if you were paying attention last week, this is the science experiment episode part 2.
Brought to us by Thomas Dolby.
I don't know what that means.
Really?
No.
You don't get that illusion?
No.
All right, keep going.
Okay, thanks.
Does anybody else get that illusion?
So
Dolby Stereo.
No. How about you?
Thomas Dolby.
Thank
yes.
you.
Oh yes. Oh, Bob. Mash. That's a mash.
what just happened? Thank you and good night. This whole show has been a disaster.
Am I that old? Nobody remembers Mash.
I
I
remember
love
MASH.
MASH.
MASH was a great
I
show.
don't remember that.
Except for the fact that in the pilot they called somebody a spear chucker.
Well, you talking about the original movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was
That was too much.
yeah.
That was too much.
That was the whole movie, the whole premise.
Anywho, so way back in episode, I wrote it down somewhere. Original presentation was the original episode aired on July 17th, 2018. That was episode 21. We held a science experiment where we bought a bottle of unaged rye, and we used the Oak Infusion Spiral. And basically, for those of you most of you should know, but for those of you who do not know, once whiskey is bottled, it no longer ages. It is what it is. However, with the Oak Infusion Spiral, which, as the name suggests, it is a spiral cut out of oak.
Yeah.
That is
American oak.
that is charcoal.
Number 4 char.
I was going to ask, what is the
The
char?
number 4
Number four
char.
Number 4 char.
Yes.
So basically what you do is you open your favorite bottle of whiskey, or they say you can use it for other things too, wines, whatever. You open up in our case, you open up your favorite bottle of whiskey, you chuck in the Oak Infusion Spiral, pop a cork back in it. In 2 weeks, it continues the aging process, therefore making your...
That's what they recommend.
Yeah, that's the minimum is 2 weeks.
Now, one thing we didn't talk about with your initial experiment, and something that I'd be interested in hearing from you guys is, would you use this on your favorite whiskey? Because I don't know that I would. I wouldn't want to risk it.
No, I don't think I would, actually.
I might if there was, like, if I had several bottles. Like, I'm not going to, like, say, waste, on a bottle of Lagavulin 16.
No.
That's what I'm saying. If
You
I
know,
mean, by the time I
But
buy
if
a
I-
bottle of Laggy 16, it should be done.
exactly. I'm not
You know-
needing to age it for another.
Right. I probably wouldn't buy that whiskey if
Maybe
I felt that I needed to.
No, I don't think it was
confuse
ever intended to be used on finer
The,
premium.
the original tin cup. I think I might try that
Okay.
just to see what it would do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whenever they market these, is that really what who are they marketing them to? Are people who are doing science experiments like us?
No, they. If you go to the website, you can buy these off of Amazon. By the way, they're approximately $5 per spiral. Sometimes they sell them in a quantity of 4. Sometimes they're in a quantity of 12. But they're approximately $5 per spiral. But when you go to the actual website, you'll see that they have larger staves that are actually designed for larger whiskey barrels, like the 50, the larger 52-gallon size barrels. That you can actually take the larger staves and put in a port wine barrel stave into the barrel, so it's aging in its normal.
it's
American oak,
accelerating it, really.
but
though.
you're doing actually 2 ages at the same.
It's like a
process.
fake double casking.
Right. So they have a completely different line for mainstream
Okay.
providers for the not the distributors, the producers. But these, I just saw that one, and it's just like, why not give it a try?
I thought it was a great idea.
It is a great idea. And the thing is a lot of times I'll see on the bourbon websites or the whiskey, the Scotch Addicts website,
Right.
that somebody will want to buy one of the smaller liter and a half cask and age it for 2 months. And there's a lot of problems. You get these casks. Sometimes they hold the liquid. Sometimes, in the middle of the night, the thing leaks out. So here's a way that you can age something without the mess. You don't have to worry about the cask. You don't have to worry about it leaking. You don't have to worry about the time interval. You can watch it as it's actually aging in the bottle. So as far as the price, $5 per.
Yeah.
The price. Yeah, it's definitely, if you want to try something, I think it's an easier route to go than actually buying a liter or a liter and a half cask.
Do you think that there's a reason why they went with a number 4 char where most whiskeys traditionally go with a number 3 char. Do you think it has something to do with the?
I think it has everything to do with the speed.
That's what I was
Yes.
wondering.
Yeah, they're probably trying to speed it up faster.
Okay.
I think maybe after this experiment, I propose we do one with, instead of the unaged whiskey, I say we do one that we've tried.
Aged whiskey.
Yeah, something that we've
that we
tried
know.
and we know.
There we
Not
go.
super expensive, but just a whiskey that we know, and see if it adds anything to the experience.
Science experiment part 3.
Yeah.
Now he's blinding me with science.
Oh, he's the man to do so.
Regular Thomas Dolby.
You're a
over
regular
here.
old Thomas Dolby over there.
So basically, what happened was this whole science experiment stemmed from Al's research into the unknown that he likes to take when he takes on something new. But also, we took a trip to the Moonshine Mine Distillery, and we all fell in love with the rye whiskey that they had first and foremost. We couldn't get enough of it, and then they ran out of it. But
I wonder if those two incidents are correlated.
maybe. But all of a sudden, they came out with unaged, which 135 proof. I think I put 120 in the show notes. My bad. It's 135 proof unaged rye. Basically, it is rye lightning in a bottle, and they were just trying to get something out. And we bought a bottle of it, and woo!
Yep.
You could
Yeah.
it was good for 2 things: degreasing engines and killing brain cells. But Al says, "Hey, I got this idea. Look, we got this oak infusion spiral. Let's age it."
Let's age that.
So we did it. In the first science experiment we do have in the room, we purposely saved some. I don't know how well this is going to pick up because I didn't turn the damn light on the camera again. But you can see how light that is, and it took it from white to a very pale amber color.
It's pretty much a gold.
It looks like a beer almost.
A
And-
shitty beer.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Corona.
Yeah.
But we
Stick a lime in it.
opened it up, and we were shocked at the turnaround time, what 2 weeks with this oak infusion spiral will do. So we got, while we were doing that show, we also did a piece on
Transportation.
the transportation of whiskey. Was old whiskey that was transported by sea better than the same aged whiskey that was, say, stationary?
And the principle is the agitation.
The agitation, yeah. So that spawned the science experiment part 2. So what we did, Al and I went back and purchased the last 2 bottles of the unaged rye. And what we did was we took the oak infusion spirals, we stuck them in the unaged rye. One has been transported over the last 4 months in an unnamed vehicle. And it has
Entirely legal.
Yes, absolutely. So it has been agitated and moved around and thumped by sound and speed bumps and potholes.
So there's a little bit of the blackened theory going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite, because I didn't play.
This has been Brian Fallon to death.
ICP.
Yeah, it wants to stab people, 4 or 5 people every day.
And since it listened to Brian Fallon itself mostly.
So what we did was, like I said, we kept one stationary, one stayed at Al's house, and one stayed in my vehicle. And we want to see the differences.
Second glass. 2 glasses. I want to do side by side.
Yeah,
if we can.
I want to do side by side.
We wanted to see if there would
I
be
thought Jay was bringing in his glasses too.
a difference. I didn't think about it.
I'm telling you what, just from some
Me too, Boyd.
observation, I know the camera is not going to pick this up,
No.
Well, maybe
They're
when
really
Mikey
similar.
walks
Oh,
past,
okay.
I'll have him click that light on again.
but by observation, there is a very subtle difference in color. But I can see that this guy's a teensy wee, at least in this light.
Right.
I'm sure that would affect different things, but at least in this light, for anybody listening or viewing at home, there is a very slight color difference.
I think the reason it's not as noticeable is the quantity that we have. These bottles are only 350 milliliters. They're not even full fifths.
Right.
So I don't think there's actually enough product to really notice.
Or would that be more concentrated? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
maybe. But
now-
yeah,
so as far as the amount of time, it's equal.
yes.
This just has more agitation. And for those of you, like I said, who can't see or are listening, there is literally about one shade color difference where the movement, the agitated one, is just ever so slightly darker. But compared to
The original.
the test sample, or I'm sorry, the control group, there's a marked difference between
Yeah.
those.
Let me see if we can hold these up.
Okay, so that is the agitated and the control
you can
group.
see the difference. This one is the one that was motioned. This one is the one that
Original
sat for only 2 weeks. So you can see a color difference there. And hopefully what we're about to find out
Now,
is
here, show them as well. I really doubt they're going to be able to pick it up on camera, but show them the stationary and the agitated.
stationary, agitated.
Right. And for those of you just listening, like I said, there's a dramatic difference in color between the control group and both of the ones that have had the infusion spiral in them.
Are we going to try the control?
Sure.
I don't want to get more glasses.
That's the baseline.
I'm down with trying them.
Yeah, I'm down with
I
trying it.
have
We'll rinse
Voss
it out.
water,
and
yeah,
then yeah.
I can water it.
Okay, so let's get a snort of the original. That will,
Let's get some control going on. Wait, whose glasses are whose here?
I don't even know at this point anymore.
That's good. I don't need much control. I want to be out of control.
That's good, buddy.
With the amber.
Right. Okay,
Not the
so
juvenile.
Even with
Well,
sinuses
before we
being
get
sharp up.
into that,
let's toast. some
let's
folks.
toast our patron members.
Yeah, and I would really, especially extra, even though they're not patron members, before we launch into the patrons, let's toast once again, Jake and Dane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks,
Wonderful.
thanks guys for the microphone donation.
Greatly,
Those are awesome.
greatly appreciated.
We have Scotty Knoll.
We got him.
We have Mario Ciccarella.
Got that
We
guy.
got Rick Wirtz.
Got that guy.
We got Hot Pants 2, Ryan Weaver.
Oh,
That's true. I've never seen a tighter pair of pants.
He's the Cosmic
painted
Hot
on.
Pants. Can
Can
we call him Cosmic Hot Pants to go along with our other Patreon member?
Maybe.
Okay.
Sure. Shannon Hoffman. No, I knew where you were going. I knew where you were going, but I had to throw that in there first. And obviously the Cosmic Roadshow.
Right.
Thank you for the again. Every week you guys stand up and tip your hats to us, and we obviously tip them right
Put
back
your
to you.
moolah
So
where our
our
mouth is.
sure. So thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so we should be paying attention to noses and stuff as well.
Wow.
Very, very,
Oh.
yeah, very moonshiny.
Wow.
Did it get stronger?
I want to say it got stronger. I
Yeah.
don't remember it being that
It
strong.
did.
No.
No, it's always been like that.
Yeah. It takes me back to that tasting that we
It
had.
does. It does. Which, let's be honest, for 2 weeks,
I'm not
that's
gonna-
good product.
It absolutely is. I've drank worse for more expensive.
Me too, man. And what's
Wow.
the proof on this guy? 135?
135.
Yeah, that's, I mean, for 135 proof, that's fairly palatable and smooth, you know?
Shannon
I mean,
said
it's-
she'll be Cosmic Underpants. And
I
so
mean-
saith the patron.
Right.
All right.
You can't argue with a patron.
She just announced her official title, Cosmic
Cosmic Underpants.
Underpants.
I'll tell you what, though, I'm scared we're gonna lose some of this. The Voss water with the aftermath of that
Right.
control still didn't lose an edge.
Yeah, this is the first time.
Wow, that's
Okay,
a
let's-
lot stronger than
alcohol
I
Put this
remember.
back over here.
Yeah, get that out of the way. Okay, so guys, I want to let you in a little secret too.
Wow.
Not only did we do this, which is we we wanted to try. Al found
Oh, jeez.
another Pennsylvania rye whiskey, Thistlefinch.
Thistlefinch.
That was
Yeah, white rye.
unaged white rye,
Wow.
and it was a full fifth. So we dropped the last remaining full oak stave in that baby, and it ran the same time length as these did.
That's interesting. I
We
wonder
did
if they
them
have
all
a-
at the same time.
I wonder if they have a Pennsylvania Dutch thing going on with a name like this.
It's from Lancaster.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we opened it to try to get like a little preview of what we might have been in.
Yeah.
We didn't want to sample these without everybody.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that one was mine, so it's just like, oh, let's have some
Let's
of that.
have some of this, and we both went.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
It was bad.
Really?
Yes.
So yeah, and the thing, and I don't know that it's
And what was the age on that? Did it say?
No,
That one was 80, I think.
no. He said age.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it was.
oh, the proof.
Was there a statement of age on it?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't.
Well, there couldn't be
Did
age.
you
It was
try
white.
it unaged?
Oh, it was white.
was
No,
white,
we
yeah, it
didn't
was
try
white.
it unaged.
Yeah, it was
You
white.
didn't try it when you cracked it open, so it could have just been bad whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I think. That's what I'm getting at. I think that
There goes another sponsor.
the rye that they used for that, it had its own different flavor. It just wasn't good.
Oh, it's small batch and everything.
Yeah.
Huh.
It just wasn't good. So when you say wasn't good, are you guys talking about it was too overbearing?
No, I mean,
It didn't even have a quality rye
no, it.
component. I just.
See, like even
I got
out of
a lot
that,
of pine.
and that's like
Yeah.
literally white lightning in there, but I'm still getting rye. And
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still all there. It's.
hey, man, the coaches rule.
Yeah.
They really do.
That's all you gotta
that's,
say.
Yeah, that's basically what I was doing, was tooting their horn just one more time if I could. They make a fantastic rye, and if it's only aged for when they're
10 minutes.
their normal product, that they have out on the shelf that is aged and colored, and obviously,
We have to check back with them and see what they have there now.
yeah, we got to go back. But so I'm excited to get to this because I'm hoping that it just wasn't a failed experiment, that it was just that bad of a whiskey in the first place.
Right.
So, what do you want to start with first, or do we
Station.
gonna?
I wanna do
We all
both.
have. Yeah, we all have.
I want to do
enough
both
glasses.
at the same time,
Okay.
but I'm going to start with stationary and then see if I can tell a difference between motion.
Well, we got to do.
If there's the
You're
ability
gonna-
in the ocean.
Well, we can fill up all the glasses at the same time.
Yeah, I'm gonna do them all at once. So this is stationary.
Keep my stationary on my left.
Me too. Going to keep my movement on my right.
Thank you, James.
Thanks, buddy. That's good.
Fantastic.
Okay, and now we are going to get the momentary, the movement, the agitated.
Had to get one for this.
This guy's got a
Yeah.
good pour.
He's talented. I could
He's
not
got a
do
good
that.
pour.
Whenever he was off, I
He's
couldn't
got a
do
good pour, man.
He
it.
tried.
I'm gonna have to take classes or something.
I'm just a poor boy.
Thanks. That's really great. That's
Nobody
really
loves-
Is
good.
your name Galileo?
Nobody loves me.
Nobody loves him. I'll tell you what, in the glass, I think I can. It's not terrible, but I can see a little more of a color differential.
All right, so what are we trying first?
I'm going stationary
Yeah,
first.
Stationary
Stationary's
first?
left.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to drink left to right.
Now
Is
that's
that like a honey smell?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. The nose is certainly more tame.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I said this for those of you at home listening. This has been brewing or aging for 4 months.
Now this is just longer than the control. Same whiskey.
Same whiskey,
Same, yes.
exact same whiskey, same everything,
batch.
just
Same size.
Same batch.
Yes.
same
Same
size,
the only-
spiral.
same size
Same
of a
style.
stave,
Yes.
Only
Ex-
difference.
time and motion.
So time is the same on both of these whiskeys.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion on the right.
Yes.
Stationary on the
Yes.
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 What's how much longer has this one aged than the first one? The control.
2 weeks
The
versus
first
4 months.
control was 2 weeks.
2 weeks and
Versus
4 months.
4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boys, we go in
Let's go.
Science.
for science
I'll do it for science.
for Thomas Dolby.
That's right.
Oh wow.
Poetry in motion.
Mm.
I'll tell you what, that has a lot less edge than the control.
Sure does, doesn't it?
And it's
A
still
whole lot
135.
less.
And I can definitely taste more oak after.
Yes.
And like Al just said, it's still 135.
Yeah, well, yeah, that didn't change. That's very interesting.
I still
brings
have
up more
some of
complexity.
their rye out there. If you wanted me to even bring that out for a side.
Oh, the original white.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm
no,
probably
not the
good.
white. I'm talking their
Oh,
rye
their
they
aged.
sell. Yeah,
I'm good. I'm good.
because this tastes very similar to
Very
that.
similar.
I tried that not too long ago,
Yeah.
man, just to get a nip of it.
So that's interesting because it's close to, well, we'll say imitated because obviously it's not the real for sure thing. That's close.
Yeah, it's real close.
We can't say imitated. It's real American
It's just-
oak.
I mean, like the whole.
It's
And
just
it's not a
aged
true,
a different
it's
way.
not the correct process.
That brings out more of the rye, more of the complexity. Definitely more oakiness in that one, for sure.
Now I'm curious. I wonder what a little drop.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not there yet. No.
I'll tell you what, nose-wise,
Is there less nose on
there's
the movement?
there's definitely less nose on the movement, man.
Yeah,
Again, I'm not.
Oh my God, take-
I don't understand.
I do. It's been agitated more, a lot more surface area contact with the.
Which this is another funny thing. Moment or emotion. Excuse me. When we strained both of these, the motion
Did you cheesecloth?
we
Is
did
that-
cheesecloth. The motion bottle came out in one chunk. There was very little side debris that came off sediment that came off of the spiral. The stationary bottle was in smaller chunked pieces when it came out.
It probably just had something to do with the individual spiral. I
Yeah.
would think.
That sounds like a wood issue.
Okay, I didn't know if
Yeah.
I said spiral.
Yeah, the wood
I
issues.
don't know if it had anything to do with it or not, but it was interesting to note anyway.
I'm going in on this one.
Wow.
You go movement. I'm
Definitely,
going momentary.
definitely
Yeah,
less.
there's definitely a difference in the nose.
Yeah, big time.
Holy cats. That's
Oh,
even
that
less
comes-
abrasive. That's even smoother.
I
Yeah.
agree. I
Wow.
think there
Wow.
might be something to that old school notion that the agitation does it.
Now see, and I'm going to go back and double check my findings, but my initial assessment is that the first one with the stationary had more complexity but was harsher.
Yes,
Yes.
And this one is smoother, but it's more of a one-trick finish.
it is absolutely. I agree with Mikey 100% on
Yeah.
that.
So,
It's more subtle for sure.
Yeah, from the nose through. But it's
so
easier. said.
basically, the old adage that it's not the size of the ship, it's just
It's
the motion of the
ocean.
ocean.
Right.
It really makes the
Makes the whiskey.
whiskey better.
Makes the man. Makes the whiskey.
Thank you.
I will.
And good night.
I will argue the first.
No, so that is really cool.
All right, so we've all had it. Let's go around the table. Jay, do you feel that there's a definite palatable difference between stationary and agitated?
Hands down.
Okay. Al,
Yes.
I'm going to say hands down. Michael?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%. I just went back to stationary, and it's night and
Is-
day.
Yeah. Now, here's another question. Do you feel that it was a positive change?
That's what I was going to ask. Which
Jay,
do you prefer,
which do you
stationary
prefer?
or?
Which do you prefer?
I prefer the movement.
Okay.
Movement. It's milder from front to end.
Now,
It's easier sipper.
I definitely think that
And that's let me touch on that real quick. Because of the proof, no matter what you do, this is strong.
It's 135.
This is gonna whoop someone's ass in a little bit here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if for the fact of to be drinkable, it's still at 135 proof. To be sippable
Right.
without ice or any other kind of water added, movement hands down.
All right. So I think that the stationary is still a little more complex.
Yes.
Yes.
It's got more characters in
Yes.
play. I feel that the agitated is still complex but more subtle, and it's definitely a shit ton smoother.
Yes.
So what we should do is we should write the boys in Metallica
Right.
and say that we whooped your ass with 4 months on a piece of wood.
Let me just, for the record, put on tape my opinion as well on the matter. I would say that I also prefer the one that was agitated with the movement. And just to echo what Jason said, I think that the one that we had to stave in longer outperforms the control.
Sure.
So if you're gonna do one of the two experiments, I would recommend leaving it in longer because it just takes that edge off.
Yeah.
Now I think with a lesser proof, you may get away with some of that because like we said, we were drinking White Lightning with a little bit of oak in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're down like an 80 proof, 90 proof with a whiskey with the oak spirals in it, then.
And what you're saying is true because I do have the picture here that we can post it on the internet that the Thistle Finch was 80 proof. And it didn't turn out, like I said, it was the same time duration, but it didn't turn out anywhere near as dark as these.
No, it was almost as light as the control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting too. What we need to do is we need to go up to Cochos and say, look, this is what we want from you.
One of everything. Oh.
Yes. However, we want a full fifth of 135.
I don't know if they ran another batch of that.
They'll run.
This batch was the only batch that I know of they ran.
Why don't they sponsor a
That was-
Wednesday whiskey batch?
That was a stopgap, though.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
was
But
a
what
stopgap.
I'm saying is we get the full fifth of the unaged 135. We pop one of them oak staves in it, and we kiss it goodbye for a year.
Okay.
If they have it, we'll do it.
Right.
And
At what point is it diminishing returns? though?
That's
I
the
guess we'll
question.
find out.
Science.
yeah,
Now, here's the thing, too. We do have to say for everybody listening, our sample size is not very large here.
Right.
No, these are 135
No.
milliliter. Right.
And
I
then
mean-
again, it's also, I mean, there's a lot of factors at play here.
There's
Of course,
a
we
ton.
have the control and we
There's
have
a
these
ton.
experiments, but who's to say that one batch wasn't ran a little
I mean,
bit
what
more
if
than the
Jay
other?
had driven around and listened to black metal for 4 months?
Yeah, we could.
Mm.
What if he had driven around and listened to the Eagles for 4 months?
I wouldn't be here.
Me either.
the bottle would have cracked and just leaked all over my
Right,
back.
right.
And actually, there's another thing. His car was not temperature
Yeah,
climate
it's,
control.
it's gone
Whereas-
through the gamut of
Well, let's
Right,
think about
fall.
Downstairs,
Let's
it's only
think about
62 degrees, and that's where that stayed. the
let's
whole
think
time.
about a barge on the Mississippi, though. I mean,
Right.
while there's probably less temperature variables on the Mississippi River compared to living in Four Seasons of Pennsylvania, I would say that same factors apply. I mean, you know, the barge was definitely not temperature controlled.
I would say it would probably go
Right.
through more climate change.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it would go through various stages of
Yes.
humidity at
Right,
different,
right.
even different days within
Mhm.
the same day. So I think it's definitely a successful experiment, though, because honestly, I came in expecting these two to taste and like give us the same nose, same palate, and everything. I thought there wasn't any legs to stand on with the
I did
experiment.
not. I thought there was going to be a
I thought
difference.
maybe we could fudge a little bit of the numbers and say, well, I can kind of taste a little bit of this. I can kind of taste a little bit of this. But for those listening at home, it's noticeable the minute each of us tried the one with
Absolutely.
the agitation that
Yeah.
you could tell that there was a distinct difference between the control and the stationary.
I mean, so this is something that a lot of producers might want to consider. The agitate your ricks. You
Who
know?
was
Some
it?
of them,
Who
too, not
who
all
has
of them.
one out
So-
right now?
Was it was it
Maker's
the-
Mark?
I don't know.
Jeremy
anything.
Nixon mentioned
Yeah.
something to us, but I don't remember which one it was that
Yeah.
That what?
they have this.
An agitation.
They have a bottle with the agitation on the market.
Yeah,
Jefferson's does.
Is it Jefferson's?
That's Jefferson's.
That's correct. Yeah.
and that's what brought up the whole initial thing.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Jefferson's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real Ocean.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a real thing. I mean,
Sure
those-
is.
It's obviously something. At least this one bottle, you know. Had
So
something
I
to
think
say
for
about
the-
that.
In the name of science, we have once again prevailed with a successful.
I'll tell you what, man. I mean,
Gotta love
we're
something.
definitely.
I don't want to say that the third time's a charm. We become full blown scientists after the third one.
Well, I mean, we're definitely taking some hits for science here. I mean, I hope science is
It's for science.
I hope science is recognizing the sacrifice that we're making.
It's a damn sacrifice.
I mean, we are
Damn
really
good sacrifice.
working hard here.
We are.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what I'm afraid to keep drinking this.
Keep
I'm
going.
getting warm. Oh, there's no doubt.
Just
Might
keep
crack
going.
that window a little bit.
I think should.
The Coachos, they know how to do it, don't they?
They sure do.
We should thank them about another bazillion times.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to have done this if they hadn't provided.
Yeah.
You know, the timing was impeccable. I mean, the fact that we happened to happen upon this right when they needed that stopgap measure.
Yeah.
You know.
And I like the fact that also that not only at the time of initially emailing them, like they had just started officially with the public license.
Yeah.
We had just started the podcast. My God, does that breeze feel fantastic? It was just kind of nice to be a coexisting
Honestly, I think that we.
symbiotic relationship. Was just
I think we really need, honestly, to report directly back to these people on the findings. This is something we've done with their product.
And I think they would love to hear it.
I think,
see it.
yeah. I mean, we
I mean,
really.
we'll definitely send them the link to the episode,
Right,
but I think
right.
that also we should stop back up.
So you're going to write the lab report, right?
done.
Yeah, and then we'll send it to them.
He's going to send the show notes
Well, at least they'll get some.
This month.
with a line through the 120 or
Right.
135.
Right.
Gosh. Dicks.
We shit on everything.
That's
dude.
fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
So, Jason,
Yeah, buddy.
you were neck deep in a bunch of scotch this week.
You were the man of the town.
Totally neck deep in a bunch of scotch.
I'm unbelievably jealous of all of this,
Yes.
by the way.
Yeah.
Listen, the only thing I have to say in response to that is you fucking should be.
I don't know what you want me to say other than I am.
I mean, because
That's fantastic.
I had one of the scotchiest weeks I've ever had in my life, and it was goddamn good. And not a drop of Lagavulin was involved. It was really weird.
That was strange.
That's very strange, yeah. Well, you know, the liquid suede is always near and dear to my heart, but sometimes, you know, you need to do, you know.
Why don't you,
diversify.
Let me preface this real quick by saying you got a phone call from your loving wife.
I did.
The
And
beautiful-
God bless that one.
the
Can we
beautiful-
toast my wife?
Absolutely,
Yes.
the beautiful
Just
Jen
a good one
Feathers.
here.
She says, "Hey, early birthday present coming."
No, she didn't even say that.
And okay, I'm gonna let you tell the story. Go.
I got a message from my wife. Hey, don't make any plans for the evening of Thursday, January 24th. Early birthday.
Which is kind of why I just
Yeah, exactly what you said.
But she didn't specify even, yeah, what you said. but better coming from me.
That's what.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at first she didn't even really specify too much about what it was about. Just don't make any plans for July. Fuck that. January 24th. Which, you know what? I didn't even... Okay, I won't. Good. And then the evening before, was it, Jay? We were hanging out at the store and she told me what it was about. Was it you and I? We were hanging
Yeah.
Yeah, so, wow. I mean, my birthday's coming up this weekend, so...
We should toast your birthday. Come on.
All right, let's do it.
We're going to miss it.
I'll
Let's
be-
do it now.
I'll be-
Stop.
I'll
Happy
be-
birthday.
Thank you very much. It's not my birthday yet.
Happy birthday.
I'll be
Oh, it is.
24 years old.
24. You'll be
Liar.
That's a lie.
21.
That's a lie. Yeah, well, let's put it this way. I'll be old enough to drink this weekend.
Boys.
Mm-hmm. So, my lovely wife let the cat out of the bag the night before, and she told us that Bold, which is a local fantastic restaurant. I don't know if any of you got. I
Bill
know
Sells?
you've been there, right?
I have been once.
I've been there once.
Yeah, Bill sells Bold. I mean, it's just fantastic. The staff there, I know Bill. He's a fantastic dude. His wife is a wonderful lady. They're just fantastic people, and pretty damn talented. So they were holding a Scotch tasting dinner, which they do every year around that time of year. The reason being, that it's very traditional. I'm going to digress here a little bit. January 25th, all around the world, people celebrate the life and legacy of Robert Burns, who is sort of, I guess we should just say that he's sort of the official poet of Scotland, if you will. And, for a lot of families that underwent the Scottish diaspora of, from like the 17th through 20th centuries, really. I mean, mostly focused in 17th and 18th centuries, but there was an awful lot of Scottish migration during those periods, and a lot of people still sort of get in touch with their heritage. And the Burns dinners, which are traditionally held on January 25th or thereabouts, are the time of year when a lot of people get together and celebrate that kind of thing. So Bold every year around that time of year holds a dinner, which my wife was wonderful enough to buy us 2 tickets to. And I'll go through a little bit and would you guys want to hear like what was on the menu?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so I find out that we're going to go down to this dinner, and I'm very excited because I just know it's going to be down at Bill Sills Bold. It's going to be fantastic. I knew there was going to be scotch. I knew I was going to get to spend the evening with a lovely, wonderful lady. I'm in. So we get down there, and the very first course is something called egg slut. So I'm probably going to not be able to get into the intricacies of how awesome the food was, but it's basically sort of like a little poached egg on top of some garlic mashed potatoes in a little cup they bring you, and then you mix it all together, and they bring you little bits of garlic toast, and you actually spread the mixed up egg slut on the garlic toast. I mean, it was fucking killer.
Can I tell you that I'm hard right now?
You should be, dude. I mean, you should.
In those pants? That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, right.
Actually,
That's true.
pass out here, lack of blood.
So they brought out the egg slut sort of as an appetizer, and I mean, that was just fantastic. And then the way they host this, they bring a fella in from Harrisburg who he's originally an Altoona native, and god dang it, I forgot the guy's name. He was a great host. He was a great speaker. He sort of talked everybody through the scotches, and the scotches were perfectly paired with the food. I mean, they were definitely super complimentary. And what they brought out for the egg slut was Macallan Double Cask Gold, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. I did look this up later on. A bottle of Macallan Double Cask Gold will run you about $66 roughly. Now, I have not priced it at any local spirits stores. I just looked it up online. Your prices may vary wherever you're at or whatever. There's no age statement on the bottle. We were guessing. I was conferring pretty regularly with the fellow who was hosting the Scotch part. We were kind of guessing it's probably a 10 or 12 year Macallan. So what they do is the double cask thing is first is a regular casking in American oak, and then the second casking is in sherry casks,
which is kind of the Macallan way.
Which is kind of the Macallan way, right? Now, here's what I will have to say: it was fantastic. But you know what? I guess in a way, you probably want my opinion on the scotches.
Absolutely, we do.
It was a fantastic scotch. I don't see a big enough difference, though, between, say, a Macallan 12 to justify, to really
What's
justify.
the price?
Well, again, at the price
isn't.
point, it's really only
It's only,
couple bucks.
couple
67,
bucks.
yeah.
It's only a couple bucks. But, I mean, sure, try it. There was a little bit, you could get a little bit of the sherry cask at the very end of the finish. Other than that, it really wasn't that big a difference between a 12. I didn't think it. Let's put it this way. I don't think there was that big of a difference between, say, a regular Macallan 10 or 12 to really justify it being a whole separate bottling and making a really big deal out of it.
But that's the Macallan way.
But that's the Macallan way.
Sure.
So then they brought us out a salad, which was fantastic. Kale, carrots, some nice little raspberries in there. It was absolutely amazing food. The scotch that they chose to complement the salad was a Glenrothes, which we have tried here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Was it the sherry cask?
Yes. And you know what? It wasn't my favorite when we tried it here.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite then. I'm not real big on a space side. Way too floral.
See, that's one of my favorites. But
Right. Not my bag. Most of the people that were there loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's kind of an everyman scotch.
it's an everyman scotch.
It's a cherry whiskey.
it's an easy pleaser. Yes.
Yeah.
Easy pleaser is a
Yes.
good way to put it. Well, I'm just not much on the space sides. I will certainly take a space side over a lot of other things, but if I'm gonna drink scotch, not particularly my favorite. It did pair very well with the salad. I'll give it that. And there was nothing special. It was just a typical Glenrothes, Then they brought us out a course of salmon.
Earthquake.
Somebody doesn't know how to
4.9.
use airplane mode.
4.9.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 4.9 in
Where?
Philippines.
Oh.
That's,
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's an earthquake.
That's what's going on?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I'm going to interrupt my particular statement to say that, my positive thoughts and all kinds of hopes go out to the folks in the Philippines.
Yeah. If you're affected by that, that's no snoozer.
That's no
No.
snoozer, man. No, really. Wow. That just makes me want to sit here and count my blessings, which I'm going to continue to do. They brought us out a course of salmon, and the scotch that they paired with that, oh my God, was some Glenmorangie.
No. Tell the story of how you wanted to punch that dude.
Okay, so the one thing that I will say about the dude, he was a super cool dude,
Yeah.
and they picked him because he knew his scotches, but I mean, his pronunciation was super off. He was Glenmorangie-ing it up. And when we toasted in, I believe, the word is sláinte. That's how you pronounce it in Gaelic. He said something like slangy. And I was like, what the fuck is that? What am I supposed to do? I didn't even know what I was supposed to do. Then my wife was like, I think it's sláinte. And I was like, oh, sláinte, whatever. So, whatever. He was a great dude. His pronunciation was totally fucked. So, at any rate, they brought out some Glenmorangie Quentin Rubin edition, which I looked up.
It was scotch with a sandwich.
Yes, they brought you a Reuben. No, which I guess I looked it up, goes for around $65 a bottle. This was amazing scotch. I mean, so I love Glenmorangie as it is.
So good.
This stuff, dude, was like the darkest, mintiest chocolate and citrus flavored shit. I mean, it was just so good from the nose to the time you quaffed it. So what they do with the Quentin Rubin edition is they put it, it's 10 years in American oak and then 2 years in a ruby port.
Okay.
Which, I mean, that's kind of fairly standard for a double cask, I guess. But this stuff was just even smoother than typical Glenmorangie. And the chocolate and citrus was more pronounced. I mean, it was... For $65, people, go out and buy that shit. Because, I mean, it was fantastic. Now, they were basically going around at the dinner. They would give you seconds or even thirds of the scotch samples. The wife and I kind of passed on the Macallan.
Sure.
And we passed on the Glenrothes because... it wasn't our
Not
thing.
your cup of tea.
Right.
Not our cup of tea as
Right.
much.
You're familiar with it.
Yeah, but as soon as they brought out the Glenmorangie, we were like, "Excuse me, miss." We started definitely going to town on that stuff, and I mean, great pairing. It complemented the salmon so well.
That was my next question.
It really complemented the food. It was a great choice. They know what they're doing. So then the next course was a beef tenderloin.
Uh-huh.
Which,
Sold.
let me tell you,
I'm
dude.
sold.
Let me tell you, dude. When Bill Sell makes beef tenderloin, you want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic.
And tell me it was an Isla.
Well, it was.
Okay.
It really was.
It would have to be.
It exactly. See, you know how to pair it. The beef was amazing, and the choice of scotch was just fantastic. Now, this is the scotch that turned the most people off.
I imagine. Yeah.
This is the scotch that turned me on the most. It was an Ardbeg Ugadil edition. And dudes, oh my God, for a minute, Lagavulin was scared.
It was in jeopardy.
It was in jeopardy. I mean, seriously, this was the most amazing scotch. About $75 a fifth.
Okay.
By internet pricing,
Mhm.
which is actually pretty good.
Cheaper than Laggy.
Cheaper than Laggy, right? It's 100 proof, so it's definitely strong. And you can taste that. It's for those who are put off by a high proof and the alcohol taste. You might not want to, go there. One of the things that the fellow who was hosting the event brought up, which I think is pretty important. I'm sure some of our listeners might be familiar with Michael Jackson, Not the Moonwalker, which, by the way, badass video. Anyways, the critic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The critic, Michael Jackson actually rated the Ardbeg Ugadil in the 90s. I believe he said it was a 94. I could be off a little bit on my rating. And for that dude to rate anything in the 90s is pretty goddamn awesome. And I'm going to back him up 100%. I mean, this stuff was just fantastic. It's 100, like I said, it's 100 proof. It had a super smoky nose, like super smoky. But whenever you drank it, the smoke was not nearly as present as it was in the nose. There was a huge explosion of complexity as soon as you drank it. And the guy who was hosting the event, you could tell it was not one of his favorites. He didn't like. He said it tastes like dirt, and I was like,
"Jeez."
That's
like,
one of the
wow.
That's one of the biggest things I hear when people talk about scotch.
Right.
It tastes like dirt.
Well, I like dirt. Fuck it. So there was a super complex explosion of peat, and then there was some like total like coffee, and believe it or not, there was like. It finished with like this sort of like almost tar taste. But when I say that, it was not bad.
Huh.
It was just super complex. I've never had an Ardbeg quite like this. I think that the super high proof is what really differentiated it. There was definitely more of like the kind of harsh explosion. Like as soon as you drank it, you're like, whoa, that's something. But I mean, it was just fantastic.
Now here's a question.
Yeah.
You know Jay likes Laggy
You'd hate
16.
it.
You know Jay likes Laggy 9. You know Jay likes Talisker.
Yeah.
Am I going to enjoy an Ardbeg?
An Ardbeg Ugadil is probably not your whiskey.
That's fine.
It's probably not your whiskey. It was, but I would say that it's more your whiskey than one might initially think, judging from what I've just said. All the smoke's in the nose.
If you're listening right now and want to get in on this Ardbeg Ugadil, am I
Yeah.
pronouncing it right?
Yeah.
If you bring us a bottle, you can be on the cast. You
Fucking
can rate
right.
it with us. And you can give us your thoughts.
Absolutely.
Come down and drink some Ardbeg with us.
Listen, I would recommend everybody gets a bottle of this shit and drinks it because
Let's do
it was an experience that it was unique.
If it's piquing your interest enough to want to check it out, why don't you share that experience with the rest of the world and come on and record an episode with the Wednesday Night Whiskey Crew.
Yeah.
You can pet my dogs. You can drink some Ardbeg.
Listen, you want to pet this guy's dogs too. They're
Absolutely.
fantastic.
Can we have Bill make some beef tips?
Well,
Well, see,
dude.
that was a question I wanted to ask you because I've never done one of these pairings. I've done plenty of wine tastings,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never done a pairing.
Mm-hmm.
How do they present? How do they request that you do it? I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, it's up to you. If you want to eat the entire beef tenderloin and then drink the scotch, that's fine. Or do they say maybe take?
That's
a
a really
before
good
you-
point. That's
Yeah.
a really good point. Okay, so here's what the fella who was sort of hosting the event recommended. He recommended that everybody start off by sampling a little bit of the food
Okay.
and then sampling the whiskey neat.
Okay.
And then he recommended everybody put like a thimbleful of water. They provided water as well. He recommended everybody put like a thimbleful of water in the whiskey and then see what that did for it. Now, I didn't do much of that because I already was pretty familiar, even though I had never particularly, maybe like I'd never had Ardbeg Ugadil before, but I was pretty familiar with like,
Sure.
after I drank it, I was like, I don't want to, you know,
Sure.
I kept it neat most of the time. But that was basically what he recommended: food, neat, and then add a little bit of water and see how.
So no mixing of the palates, really.
No, he was real big on having us cleanse our palates between
I understand. Okay. See, that in my head, I'm like, take a bite of salmon and then slosh down some of this. Like,
well, that's kind of how it was during each course. So it was served as courses,
okay.
and each scotch was served with the course. And then basically, you could have a couple samples of the scotch during the course if you wanted. Then we moved on to the next course, the next scotch.
Did they take it from
And
you?
they were paired together. Well, really what they did was they just came around and poured it in our glasses. And I mean, I guess the idea was, I mean, you could have hoarded it if you wanted, but I pretty much just drank each serving with the meal, cleansed my palate, and then moved on as it went on.
I see.
So then, after that was done,
There was more?
yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that was the finale.
well, it kind of was.
Okay.
After that was done, they basically opened it up to you could get a refill of basically whatever scotch you wanted. The girls came around, and, you know, I myself got another Glenmorangie and another Ardbeg
Okay.
because I just wanted those again.
Now, what about Jen? What did she think?
My wife was right with me.
Okay.
My wife was right with me the whole time. She actually thought pretty much the same exact things that I thought, which is pretty much why I married the girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew I loved that woman when I was, you know, just slamming a fifth of Lafroig one night, and she was slamming it with me. And then she loves Talisker and Lagavulin about as much as I do, so I just knew right away that she's the one for me. But so she does have similar Scotch tastes. She really liked the Glenmorangie. I think maybe not quite as much as the Ardbeg. The Ardbeg was definitely something you had to sort of work at a little bit.
Sure.
Because literally, I mean, every drink was like, boom!
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't something lessened there. Each sip was just another.
Each sip was literally another fucking boom, which I was loving.
Which is what I personally like out of
Yeah,
Scotch.
me too.
And I think a lot of people, and like you said, it was it would split the field.
It did.
And I think
It
a lot
did.
of people that were there are familiar with that way of drinking Scotch.
Yeah. Well, I went to relieve myself at one point, and of course, you know, a conversation opens up, and you know, so I'm standing there, and I got, you know, so what do you think? You know, and the guy.
That's not bad. I've seen bigger.
So of course the guy who was beside me was like, "Yeah, man." He was like 100% almost opposite of my thought. He was really into the space side. He thought that was great. He said Macallan was starting to push it a little bit, and then the Glenmorangie was like okay, and fuck that Ardbeg shit.
Did you pistol whip him?
No, I didn't. I basically, hey, whatever, you know.
Sure.
And I was like, buddy, I'm like pretty much exactly what you said, just fucking 180 degree it, and that's how I feel about it. But it was good to hear other people's opinions, you know.
Yeah.
I do honestly think that the Ardbeg would be too much for some people as far as what you're getting. I mean, but
No.
I love shit.
Now, have you ever had the Ardbeg 10?
Yes.
Now, what's the similarity? Or is
Way
it not?
more intense.
Okay.
Like literally, there's a marked difference. What I was saying about the Macallan,
Uh-huh.
you know, I mean, does it really justify another bottling? I don't know. Pretty much about what you get with a regular Macallan 10 or 12. I've had various Ardbegs, and this was something that was honestly worth checking out on its own because it was something that was unique enough and different enough. You know, it was justified in being its own bottling.
Excellent.
Now, did I hear you say that they're going to have another tasting soon?
Soon?
Well,
Well,
we'll talk about that after the show. And they will definitely get on to, they'll definitely do another Scotch tasting dinner next year. As a matter of fact, next year is going to be the 10th anniversary. So it's
Wow.
something we're all going to want to be there for. I know they
Yes.
really want to step it up a notch for that. I didn't say, I never actually got to what the last thing
Let's
was.
do it. Let's finish.
The
it
last
off.
thing was dessert. And it was flourless chocolate cake.
I'm not impressed with those.
It was fucking
Is that
fantastic.
true?
With blackberries and specially made, they made it prepared blackberry bourbon ice cream.
Oh.
And it was just fucking delicious. So I sat there with a couple different refills of Glenmorangie and Ardbeg.
So that one wasn't paired. It was just the
That
blackberry
right.
bourbon.
That was basically you could get whatever you wanted, and I figured I had already passed on refills on the Macallan and the Glenrothes, so I said I'm going to get some more Glenmorangie and some more Ardbeg, and I happily sat there, and my wife and I had it, and that was fantastic. And then on Saturday night, I went to a local right.
Saturday night.
I went to the local Robert Burns dinner, which I've been going to for many, many years. 9 years ago, it was picked up by, I think it was 9. I think they're on their 9th year for sponsoring this too. 9 years ago, it was picked up by the local Shriner Group as the sponsors. And
I had a little conversation about the Burns dinner with Tim when I was
Tim was there. Tim was
2 weeks ago.
fucking
I went to
awesome
Gatehouse,
as
yeah.
usual.
Yeah.
So I went to that. I sat right beside Tim.
Yeah.
What an amazing guy, very talented piper.
They performed at the dinner, did they?
They did. It was fantastic. I mean, and that was a celebration at night of Robert Burns, and it was fantastic. And I'm so thankful to have been involved in that for as long as I have. At the bar, basically your choices were regular. They had a bunch of stuff that I wasn't that interested in, and I drank regular straight, pretty much typical ordinary Glenmorangie and regular Ardbeg 10 all night, which was interesting because of just having had the Ugadil and the Quentin Rubin cask, I was able to actually sort of go back and check it against sort of like the standard.
Yeah.
And both of those, once again, it sort of let me know that, yeah, it's justified that they have their own separate bottlings. Those were good enough. But I mean, hey man, I drank Glenmorangie and, regular Ardbeg, and that was fantastic. And it's pretty traditional for a lot of folks at the Burns dinner to bring a flask or two of something else,
Oh, excellent.
So I got to sample Robert Burns, which is a Lowland, that evening, which was actually very interesting, very good. Not something that I was particularly that infatuated with. Regular Lafroig and some Lafroig Tripperwood reared its head, which I was certainly happy to imbibe in. But yeah, all in all, just a great week of imbibing Scotch.
How was the haggis?
The haggis was tremendous. The haggis was actually imported from Scotland
Okay.
Wow.
this year. Yeah. And it was, I think they did that last year too. I mean, it was fantastic. I've actually been asked at work this week a number of times about Mike Myers, I think, has influenced a lot of people's ideas of
Sure.
what haggis is, and the fact that it's
You
sort of
like your own haggis.
based on a dairy, and that kind of stuff. But honestly, haggis is a pretty mild, pretty awesome, pretty tasty, pretty amazing food.
Yeah.
And I would recommend anybody eat it, and it does pair pretty well with Scotch.
Yeah.
So, pretty complimentary. But what a great evening. What a great week. What a great Scotchy Scotch week.
That sounds awesome. Now, do you want to tell us about how you finished the week, or are you going to leave that up to the listeners?
Yeah, tell that story.
So I'm watching my daughter's pets at a house, and so her and her boyfriend, fiance,
Call him what he is.
they left the house, and they left some pretty bad whiskey there. And
Now, when you say pretty bad, you're being
Yeah.
gentle.
Well,
I-
after the week he had, I mean,
yeah, well, so what happened was I looked up on top of the refrigerator, and they've both been staring at me for a while. Okay,
Mean mugging you.
Mean mugging.
Mean mugging.
They've been mean mugging me, there was like, just a couple fingers left of Jack Daniels sitting up there.
Old number 7.
Old number 7. And I didn't realize this till I pulled the old number 7 down, but it was actually a fifth of Black Velvet behind it.
Oh no.
Yeah, so from bad to worse.
And
So
this is your daughter?
I'm gonna blame it on her fiance.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So yeah, my daughter knows better than that.
I would hope so.
So this shit has just been bugging me that it's been sitting up there for the past week. So the other night I polished off the Jack Daniels, and man, after that was over, I thought perhaps my taste buds would just be like dead or numb or something, and I could try the Black Velvet to sort of just help get rid of it. And I poured a couple fingers of that, and let me tell you, I mean, it wasn't enough. I just said, like, you know what? And after that was over, it's still there because I couldn't kill all the bad whiskey. But
that one might be one for the hillside.
It might be one for the hillside, or if I need a fire starter someday, or something.
A wound.
A wound. Or if I get zombie bit or something.
So tonight at work, afterward, we're shutting everything down. Jason says to me, and we haven't discussed this since last, what was it? Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't discussed this since Sunday. Jason said, so how close was our, or what did you say to me?
I just said, so I believe I just out of nowhere pretty much said, like, so how, what did I say?
It was fantastic how you worded it.
Yeah, well, it was a couple hours ago, so you know how that goes. Something to the effect of,
questioning my...
yeah, hopefully my integrity hasn't, like, dropped too much in your eyes.
And out of nowhere, he says this, and I looked over and I went, it was number 7!
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So, after this amazing week, yeah, it was... It really
nice
pointed
to
out
back to reality. Absolutely.
It was pretty right. I decided I was going to see how what that really means, and I will tell you the truth. The Jack Daniels was absolutely putrid and horrible, but it wasn't actually as bad as I remembered it being. It was still pretty putrid and horrible compared to the week that I had.
Sure.
But dude, that Black Velvet, it was like dirty socks. I mean, it was horrible. Yeah, it was really bad. Once again, the Canadians don't do so well. Even Jack Daniels, I was like, after the Jack Daniels was gone and I poured myself a finger or two of that, I was just like, woo, I wish there was more Jack Daniels.
You look at the Jack Daniels bottle and everybody hurts was playing.
Right. I was just like, wow. Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was no Ardbeg Ugadil, I'll tell you that. Yeah. So what a fantastic week. For everybody next year, I mean, seriously, think about the Bold Scotch tasting dinner, and if you know somebody who could help, maybe you might want to help support the Burns dinner that the Shriners put on.
Yeah, I plan on both next year, but obviously finances depend on that. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, I have nothing but hearty recommendations for both events.
That's all it takes.
Very cool.
Pretty amazing.
Well, thanks for sharing that. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Really appreciate
I
it.
was, and thanks to my wife. I mean, none of that actually would have been very
Let's
possible.
toast Jen again.
Let's toast Jen again. And I should actually toast my brother and his lovely girlfriend Beth, because they were the ones that got the table for the Burns dinner and actually made it a Christmas gift to us. So, I mean, I actually attended the Burns dinner courtesy of my brother and his girlfriend Beth. Cornbread. Corn
sack.
Maybe the whiskey committee can have a table there next year.
Dude, I would love nothing
Live
better.
podcast?
I would love nothing better.
I mean, I was talking to Tim about it. He said they're already starting to sell tables. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll have a table.
Wow.
We'll have a table next year.
Yeah.
I mean, we get a table somehow every year.
Yeah.
Next year, I would love it if you guys were at the table with us.
I'm
That would
interested.
Absolutely
I'm
be
Yes,
fantastic.
definitely.
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's fine.
Okay.
We divulging that little secret yet or not yet?
Mm-mm.
Not yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, I think that effectively puts a cork in this week's episode.
It does.
Good talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good whiskey.
We've had some... well, yeah.
Whoa,
We've had
did
some
that
whiskey.
just like shut off or what?
We've had some.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Some walked up and
I'm
went.
telling. Listen, the Coachos are dangerous people.
They are very dangerous people.
They
Why do
fucked
I
us.
feel like-
We're-
Why do I
But
feel like
actually, we
I'm
left
still
on-
leaning up against that bar going, he's not for any more shots.
I know.
He's like, okay, we finished the whiskeys, but we also sell vodka here.
Right,
and I'm
right.
like, wait a second.
You guys want to try some
what
vodka?
time is it? It's
Yeah.
25
Yeah.
past 26
Yeah.
again.
Did we just drink 30 shots in 15 minutes? I think we did. Yeah.
Well,
30 more.
Off to work, boys.
Here's 30 more. Yeah.
Off to work, boys.
Right,
What
go
do you
have a
mean?
fu-
It's Monday morning.
Go have a podcast now. Yeah.
We dare you.
Yeah, I dare anybody to go back and listen to that podcast. I mean,
I think I'd get drunk.
That was a
just
great
listening
day.
to it.
yeah,
was a
that
great
was
day.
a great day.
That was
Al saved us.
Yeah, he really did.
Al,
man
Al-
of many meats.
Yeah, man of many meats. Yeah.
Well, like I said, that I believe that brings a wrap to the show. Let's end this baby the same way that we do all the time, except for that once where I forgot. Let's do what are you listening to this week? And we shall start with, for those of you who don't know, I'm skipping around again. We do have a playlist on Spotify, which every week we pick a song from an album and we post that on the playlist. It grows every week, sometimes by 3, sometimes by 4. Once it even grew by like 7. We had that many people in the room, so who knows? This week we'll go with Jason.
Because of the fact that I'm still not allowed to mention what I started to mention last week.
Okay.
I'm still doing some old school research into what I'm not allowed to mention.
Okay.
And so this week, from the Live in Leipzig album, specifically, please look up that version. I have been listening to Mayhem, and the song that I'm going to pick this week is The Freezing Moon from the Live in Leipzig. And I guess we're not allowed to say why yet.
Mikey.
So a band that I had once chose for my what am I listening to this week, only to find out that they are not on Spotify,
That sucks. I hate that.
is now on
Yeah.
Spotify.
I love that.
Yeah, so I will retroactively, and because I've been listening to them since they are on Spotify, I will retroactively bring them back to the forefront and mention the band Circle Takes the Square. Unfortunately, it's only one of their albums has been released on Spotify, but it's a start, 1, and
It is.
2, it's their best album, so that's
always
even better.
good.
Yeah. So the song is The Non-Objective Portrait of Karma.
Jesus Christ.
You're making Jay spell.
Sorry, buddy. Hands down, my favorite song by them. One of my favorite bands of all time.
Non-objective. What?
Portrait of Karma.
Got it.
Okay.
These guys are just a phenomenal band. They played in Altoona once. I got to see them.
What?
I stood right up front.
What was the album?
I believe it's As the Roots Undo. I could be wrong. Too much Cocho Rye for me to remember right now. But
I'm telling you, they're tricky.
they really are sneaking up on me.
They do. They sneak up on you.
And so they played in Altoona, and I was in high school at the time. I stood right up front, and between sets, I was chatting with the guitarist, and obviously, between songs, I was still chatting with him, and he just like handed me his guitar for one of the songs, and was like, "Just go ahead and play for a little
Are
bit."
you kidding
Yeah,
me?
it was fucking awesome.
That's
It's the first time
amazing.
I ever played a Schecter guitar before we even carried them at the store. It was the
Nice.
first time I ever played a Schecter. But
Did you know the tune?
it was like an ambient part, so it was just like literally play whatever.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fucking baller. I loved it.
That
And
is pretty cool.
I already loved the band, but I fell in love with just everything about them at that
Dude,
point.
that's really cool.
Yeah, super cool. So,
Awesome.
yeah, glad they're on Spotify. Recommend everyone check them out.
Alan.
Did anybody see the what is it? Morgan Kozar? She had her little WTAJ
Cozier.
episode.
We know her.
Yeah,
It's
Cozier.
Kozar.
Yeah,
I
Cozier.
think you're trying to overcomplicate it.
yeah.
I'll go back
Glenn,
and listen to
Glenn
it.
Morgie.
The Morenchi.
Glenn Morangi.
But yeah,
to the more. What?
But they had a little spot tonight, and it actually came on the radio on the way down here. Alanis Morissette was actually going to Broadway with her Jagged Little Pill.
Black Velvet. Oh no, wait, that was the other chick.
So hands in my pocket, or hands in,
Jagged Little Pocket.
Jagged Little Pocket, hands in
Yeah.
my pill.
I got one hand in my pocket now.
Uh-huh. Yeah. What?
Looking at me, he doesn't
That's,
even
that's
know.
not the word. That's not the song.
It's a song. Yeah, it is.
He can't process right now.
Hand in my pocket.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right.
So I got one
Hand in my pocket, and the other one's flicking a cigarette. Morissette.
Yeah. Doesn't anybody watch her whenever she posts her stuff on the Facebooks?
Book of Faces.
Yeah.
I don't even get on the Book of Faces.
All
Only
right.
to watch Jay when he posts fucking awesome videos of Michael Jackson fucking doing the moonwalk for the first time. Dude, that was awesome.
That was a great show.
That would be scary watching that.
It was fucking amazing.
My pick this week is a band that I have been rediscovering once again through the magic powers of Spotify. Not that they've ever gone away, because from what I understand, I think they started in '88 and are still a current band. They're still out playing. Man, fuck you guys. I love you.
If it's Red Hot Chili Peppers, I'm leaving.
It's not
It's
Red
my
Hot Chili
house.
Peppers.
Wow.
I'm leaving.
It's not. There's
You're out of here.
there's a lot of people either love this band or they hate this band. No, it's not ICP.
Can we take a vote after you're done saying whether we love them or hate them?
Yes, let's
Sure,
do that.
that's fine.
All right.
But I don't even know if this is a true statement or not, but I want to say that Chino was one of the first guys
See, there it is.
that were total into like the whole mumble thing. Well, he didn't mumble though; he whispered, and that was like a big because you never knew what he was saying. You tried to listen harder, and it was just the more you tried to focus on it.
It was totally a thing before Chino.
Who's Chino?
Keep going.
I thought that was your dog. Oh, it's Gina.
Chino.
Ah.
He doesn't mumble.
Gino?
He fucking barks.
Gino?
But anywho, my pick this week is the Deftones. The album is Around the Fur, and my favorite track from that record is the track Lotion.
All right, everybody who likes Deftones,
Me,
you can raise your hand.
me.
Ocean of silence going on over here. What do
I
you
don't
think?
dislike them. I don't like them.
Yeah.
I dislike them.
It's fine.
I just, man, I don't know, man. I just can't. I can't do that whole thing. I tried once and it didn't.
But you are right. They're very diverse. I've never heard anybody be like, they're fine.
Yeah.
Other than Al.
Other than Al.
I didn't say they were fine. I just said
Because even within the own band, like I've been really diving into it, like watching videos and stuff. And the guitarist, Stephen Carpenter, said that like they can't get any heavier than what they are
What?
because
Fuck that guy.
one
Because the tampons get in the way.
Right.
Finish.
What the
Let him
fuck?
finish.
it's a heavy flow.
because the drummer is a jazz drummer, and the
What?
bass player used his fingers, so he couldn't.
What?
I knew you would
That's
have an
the
issue.
worst excuses.
I have an issue with
Okay,
that.
I don't like
Can
this
we-
band anymore.
Can we talk about this? I mean, Jesus Christ, Garcia! Oh my God! Wow, I went from being half ambivalent.
For those of you who listen to our show each week and are like, "What the hell are they going to do this week?" For all you troll bastards out there who feel
Did
like,
he ever show up?
no, I never did.
I
That's
think it
fine.
was Rick and Shannon all night.
Yeah,
God bless him. God
So,
bless Rick and Shannon.
we love all of you except that last guy told where to go. So yeah,
I think it was last week.
Okay.
did I say the days?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
385.
Cocho?
No,
Cocho?
day 385. All that. Hi, this is the Wednesday Night Whiskey Committee. I am Jay,
Mic check. I am Al.
I am Jason.
I am Michael.
and we are fucking done.
We are Cocho.
Coached again. Bye.
Well, you gotta say it.
Please listen responsibly.
Thank you.
Coached again.
Cocho again!
Can you make that the title? Coach Show
Can
again.
we?
Yeah.
Yes. That's absolute
It's
Alberta.
absolutely the title. Those fuckers fuck us every time.
I feel fine.
Coach out again. That could be the thing.
Maybe
Those
that's-
fuckers fuck
Probably
us
because of
every
that
time.
whiskey that's in the glass there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I drank all the other one.
Right.
Well, you
I
better
didn't like
drink-
that one.
You better drink that
You
one.
gotta drink that, Al. Al. That's got your name on
You
it.
can't let that sit there, dude.
What episode is this? 48?
48.
Coach out again.
But I drank all the good ones.
And now I'm all Coach out again.
In the name of
Mikey
science,
Couch.
In the name of science, we've been coach out again.
It's fine.
Yeah, I know. God bless the coachos, for real. Nobody coachos us like the
That's
coachos.
true. All right, we got to turn this off because we have to have a Deftones discussion with music. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. See ya.
I love you.